Hello everybody, my name's Dave, you can call me Zen, and welcome on into the stream as always. Today we are continuing our little journey through Persona 5 The Phantom X as we continue to attempt doing the event for ourselves here. We are currently still, well, not only just the event, but I already forgot what it's called. You guys know, the trials, the Velvet Trials. Last time we did 39 for the entire stream and still didn't come out on top. Fun stuff. Hopefully this go around. Also, yes, I got the, I did get all of the, don't talk to me. I do have all the capsules. I'm gonna switch this for the twins, actually. Yeah, I'll make my assist the twins. Then put Futaba over here. Oh, wait, what's this over here? Oh, right. It's been a little bit. But yeah, it's because I have the new Wonders. I have the Wonder skin. Which I actually do like. And I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep the pre-registered one on. Anywho. Let's not get too distracted now. I just want to make sure that I took care of everything that I wanted to prior to jumping on into this. So, one of the things that I'm going to be doing this go around is, I did change up the strategy just a touch. It's nothing crazy, mind you, but it will make sense in the long run. It's another layer of RNG to an already RNG intensive battle, but sometimes you have to fight RNG with RNG. And so what I added was a change to the Joker half of the team composition, which is going to be really, really nice for and hold on. I hope that was good enough. Okay. So as I was saying, I did one major change, and that's on the Joker team where I'm bringing Scotty. So Scotty has Forget Boost and Jama on. So pretty much the entire goal of what Scotty's here to do is literally just put down forget on half of the mobs. Because if we're able to put forget on half the mobs, then we are honestly like sitting pretty golden. Attack, life, accuracy. So obviously we were running accuracy boost. I think it was either 2 or 3. It was 3 because I didn't feel like farming for 4. And I believe we have forget boost 2 or 3 on there as well. Unfortunately, we don't really have many other ways of improving our ailment accuracy, so that's why I mentioned that there's still that layer of randomness. It sucks, but it is what it is. Something I could do is that I could try giving over Agility Master. Oh, but does this require too much thinking? Not enough playing. We'll worry about min-maxing once that feels more applicable to the situation. So far, I've been seeing kind of mixed success, but nothing... By mixed, I mean I've gotten to the point where now I need to dodge the dizzy RNG again. Also, hope you guys are enjoying the music from Game Chops. Nice little chill vibe that we kind of have going with them. But yeah, I really like this Wonder skin because it has a completely transformative highlight compared to what we've been seeing, like even compared to last stream. So take a look. It's like you summon like this big old blast, and I think honestly that's really sick. So the biggest thing that we kind of have to bear in mind here is that we have a lot of fire damage, and I was playing throughout the day, to be quite honest with you guys, and what I did throughout the day, and also I didn't realize the game audio wasn't on, but what I had learned throughout the day kind of very quickly is that how to even like get my potential score up even higher. On does a lot of damage, and so we could play into that further, or we can opt to kind of just play it safe. So normally what I end up doing here is that the Psionic Disruption, which has the additional like defense down, is very appreciated for this actually, because that almost guarantees that On's damage is going to be through the roof with how many multipliers are kind of going on behind the scenes. Oh, and you lived this time? Well, I guess On didn't crit. On has typically crit in like the past experiences that I've noticed, and it's made for like some very strange encounters with everything. So we're going to use Falling Star, and what that's going to allow us to do is that that guy's going to get down there, and we can use Marion over here, make sure that this guy gets down, and we can get the all-out attack this way. And this has been like a much more consistent way for me to get a lot more value out of the points. So now this is the turn that I typically try to take them out. So I normally use the damage bonus from wind to really try to push us in that direction, because right now we could actually double ult with On. And I know I say double ult, but this is really more so the actual use of her fire ability. So we have a couple of ways we can kind of go about this. If we didn't want... I'm going to do it the way that I think would be ideal. And obviously I'm the one playing that, duh. But there was a world where I actually didn't attack with Cord there. And now we're going to try to squeeze out as much extra, like, little bit of weakness points as we can. Because we're probably about to take these guys out next turn. Or right now. Because I'm just going to use On and take this guy out. But yeah, this is how I've been able to kind of consistently get 2,900 or so. And let's see. So, like I was telling you guys before, I've been using Makajama on, which has about a 50% success rate. And honestly, I'll take this much because what that'll end up meaning is that we only have to watch for one dizzy trigger. However, as a trade-off, a lot of these guys are going to be manually attacking, which can be debatably worse. So I just kind of wanted to bring awareness to that aspect of it, because even though, like, and that's why I continue to have Shun in the party, because these manual attacks unfortunately can hurt a lot. Because you could already see, like, Wonder himself was like very, very low. And I guess I didn't bring this up, but I am running the twins this time as medic to try to squeeze a little bit more damage out of Joker. Strategist would be ideal, but I just don't think I would survive, and I would have to change up Wonder's setup again as well. So I'm gonna go for the crit rate increase on Joker, which should help a good amount. And there's now a good amount of debuffs on them to where I can probably just safely start spamming Arsene's chains. So what I normally do here is that I go for the party buff, which seems to be consistent enough. And then we can actually go for the heal here as well. So now, if nobody gets dizzy from this Nocturnal Flash, we should be in a relatively good spot. At least in terms of what I would consider, like, best case scenario. So there's no healing. There's not a ton of healing either, which is really good. And good. This was truly, like, best case scenario right here. Because everybody still has their turn. They're all weak to curse now, which means that unfortunately I can't get a die for me proc. Or I can. I just have to be I have to be a lot more specific with how I choose to approach downing a lot of these guys. Because Joker has an attack and Wonder does. And I mean, Shun is also very helpful on this front as well. And thankfully, Joker and Wonder both have a variety of variety's not the right word, but a very solid amount of turns. Because now we can use the extra action with Arsene's chains again. We get down that guy, and then we'll hit the stronger guy with Joker. The weaker guy with Wonder. And so we more or less have set up just for a very huge all-out attack. Next comes Joker's ultimate, which takes out quite a bit of them. And so now we're kind of just left with these two. Which isn't a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. Because what we can do now, I'm letting both of them come up because both of them, to be honest, are kind of harmless. We do have 7 turns. So I'm going to try to fish up a little bit of weakness damage from I'm gonna use Phantom Omen here. Wonder probably does the least amount of damage out of everybody here. So what I'm gonna actually set up to do is that I think I can squeeze out an all-out attack off of Shun's gun. Never mind. I wasn't expecting that gun from the twins to just crit and kill it. But for proof of concept, I think that was pretty good. So we could play Shielder and have the buff be specifically targeting Joker. Or we could have them play Buffer and target the whole party. But then now I run the risk of now I have to adjust like who my sustain is here. And that is the problem. Because I was barely surviving before with the Sandalphon. But I'm always down to experiment. I'm always down to figure things out. I want it to be, while I am implementing bits and pieces of different strategies that other people have suggested for me, I want to make sure that at the end of the day, this is my own run, you know? So that's why I kind of try my best to take this a little bit more, like a little bit more seriously. Sometimes I wish I had an almighty debuffer, but I mean, it's not the end of the world, like not at all. Because you could only milk out so much damage out of a character. And so, unfortunately, I can't down either of the other ones because this would be like the perfect time to. And On's weakness damage on that over there. If I really wanted to try to really manipulate it, you could argue that I should do like an all-out attack with everything. But yeah, so this is where things are gonna get interesting, because I have to put a little bit of foot pressure on the Anubis. And it's doable, mind you. I just worry that I won't be able to actually get the all-out attack. So then this is where we kind of pivot to, I guess, another variation of the strategy, right? Because obviously we can't really easily, let's see, do any of them have insight right now? Nope. So what we do is that we strike him with fire. And we double into this one with a Marion. Alright. The game plan is still to heal the party. but it is going to be a little risky leaving a lot more of these guys alive. Realistically, I think with this variation, yeah, I think I just want Thoth gone. But you guys can see how differently this goes, where I don't get the same amount, nearly the same amount of points, which unfortunately I think is a bit of a soft reset already, which sucks. But I would rather do the soft reset now than get like a perfect Joker phase and realize that this phase was the reason why I lost. Because unfortunately, that would probably annoy me greatly. If I had more certs, I probably would do, so let's see. Because the problem is that if I take out cert, then I risk, I have to kind of completely adjust the strategy. But I don't think I can. I don't think Marakunda. I don't know. So, because I don't know, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't even think about that. Some people have also done DPS Wonder here, which I'm sure is fantastic, by the way. If it wasn't for the fact that running double support is very just inherently risky, I was considering just dropping Marion for like Leon, but I'm gonna drop Marion for anybody. It'd likely just be Key, and then I would have to adjust this to be a much more supportive Wonder to make sure that we got out of things alive, because that's the other reason why I keep bringing Marion. Okay. Yeah. This first wave is so fascinating to me because I have what I want to do down to like a science, I guess. Unless is it possible to squeeze out more weakness damage out of Wonder? That is what I'm thinking about. Because I don't think I necessarily need Dominion. But it is such a concern of mine that I think I just still go with it, with what I have here. Cause yeah, this weapon's so good. Because, yeah, if I wanted to keep people alive, I would just use Sandalphon with the all-in. Which I still may have to do here and just drop a... just as precaution. We'll see how that goes. Okay. I wonder how many times I've done this by now. Yeah, because the turn sequencing gets very odd. On was also, can I talk about the fact that On was actually like such a well done unit. Okay, that hits everybody. One shot kill doesn't crit. Sidewall doesn't hit. Okay, you can leave Marion alone now. Chord's pretty low. Okay. So we can continue with the plan as normal. I'm glad that with this trial, the enemies have a very consistent AI. Because that was an initial concern of mine. And I just appreciate the consistency quite heavily. All right, we have another defense down, and I think the other guy's gonna go down too. So On's gonna probably take this dude out. Oh, she didn't. Oh, and Marion's down. So lame. That's fine. Weirdly enough, I can afford her. Okay, I actually. Ooh, this is gonna be a little stinky. All right, I'm gonna be a little greedy. Oh, love that for me. So that's something that can happen if I'm not paying attention to where buffs and debuffs are falling. So that was me trying to kind of improvise on the fly. Unfortunately, it did not work. Which can happen from time to time. You guys saw me improvise a little bit earlier, but you guys saw how badly that tanked my point total. All right. 2 turns with the damage increase. And only the 1 turn of her fire stuff. Her stuff is just the next 4 actions. Which, I mean, Sure. Because, I mean, we don't get the knockdown off of Horus if we use Cord. But what if that guarantees the all-out attack? And thank you, Kel. Wanted to try something a little different. Alright, so everyone gained intel. That's not a big deal. Dodge. You resist psychic. Who cares? Dodge. Alright, so I'm at the point where now we're doing... Okay, wait. So who has intel? Oh no, it's that she got intel from it proccing across the board. Got it. So I think we just stick to the plan. Just instead, he gets knocked down this turn instead. Which means... Do I double into him now? I think I actually hit him with... I think... I unfortunately don't take the double down here. But we can take it now, actually. That was disgusting. And the fact that he is still alive to tell the tale, only to die in like the next 2 seconds, unfortunately. Actually, I have an idea. Y'all shouldn't be letting me think. You guys can see that like this run is very heavily experimental. Oh, that Raccoonda did some work there. Alright. Alright, this is gonna... Okay, interesting position to be in. Oh, I'm weak to fire. I mean, good to know, I guess. I think I've always been weak to fire, and this is the first time I've actually been paid enough attention to notice. I'm gonna guard with Cord. So this is where I'm actually going to use Divine Judgment to actually go down 2 of the 2 down points. So this all-out attack should not finish the job. Okay, so let's see here. I am gonna not wage war. I think that did hit all the people that mattered for this. So I'm okay with that. So it's gonna be a lot of default attacks. And what I've learned is that as long as they're not all targeting the same person, it'll be mostly okay. See, we love spread damage. We love spread damage. All right, we love spread damage here, right, guys? So now we're gonna use Sandalphon. Use it on Joker to give him that little bit of the heal or whatever. This will be the party damage buff. So everyone's gonna be able to do a little bit of damage here. So we are going to use the highlight that buffs only Joker's damage, really. Oh, why did Joker get a follow-up here? That's not great news. Because I think that messes with the whole feng shui of this. Actually, no, it doesn't. It's fine. Because what we'll do is that we'll just double into this thing. So we are going to actually hold with Futaba here. Now we just need to beat RNG. No brainwash. Auto. Another auto. Heal. All right, we beat RNG. Welcome on in RX code, by the way. All right, so this is the part where we're really gonna. To be honest with you, if I don't, if Joker's buffs from this point don't do enough. Okay, how do I want to do this? It might be safer. I'm gonna risk it. That was not what I wanted to see, to be quite blunt. Okay. One person is down now. So let's see. I do think we actually hit this one with Joker. Then we can hit the one that Shun can down. Oh, okay, you're new? Welcome on in. All right. This should be fine. Okay, so that one goes down there. Wonder can tag that. Okay, sweet. So we have a 4-man all-out attack, so that's fine. Nope, that's not enough. Because, I mean, this Icicle Hatchet will land, but I think now I had too much damage coming through. That wasn't Joker's, at least. Darn. At least I'm clearing this regularly. Does Joker really need the crit? Because even with all the buffs honed in on him, he still didn't do like as much as I thought he was gonna do. I always forget, how much is this buff? So it gives them 44.9 plus a very high number. So wait, what's a mischief and innocence and asserting nonsense? That's skill amp. Okay, crit damage, which isn't bad. Oh, this becomes an AoE attack. Party defense increase. So, I guess that would be interesting. The only version of them that I have yet to try, mind you, is I have not tried debuffer. That's sweeper. So this one's gonna be debuffer. Because Joker likes his debuffs. Yeah, so increase speed by 5. Also, when on the field, increase all foes' damage taken by 24%. So debuffer gives me a source of healing. I still have to keep Sandalphon on, but it's kind of in an all-well situation. Wait, but does that only improve their yeah, it only improves their damage. I don't think that's right. So luck and loss. Excuse me? I guess I wouldn't have to worry about I think this will be fun. I'll just have to take a chance. Oh, and yes, I did pull the twins. I have them at A1. Which most people's opinions on the twins kind of vary based off of what region you're playing in. If you are playing effectively in, like, if you're playing the Taiwan or Chinese version of the game, I think it's Taiwan, China, and Korea, then I would say that at minimum you need A1 in order for her to be competitive with the other units that are currently available in the game. If you're playing on global, I would say that if you have the resources to do so, I would say get them to A1. I think that they've been a very fun character. But they are definitely not required to be A1 on global specifically. You can keep them A0. You just end up having a slightly less efficient turn rotation, which is not an end of the world. Definitely not an end of the world situation. So, does that answer your question? And and honestly, this is just me, but if you also get A1, you should probably just get the weapon at that point. Because yeah, I'm sorry, I'm A1 R0. The twins helped me clear a lot of the content in the game. During one of my earlier stream VODs, I think it was like part 3. I think I cleared like almost all the Velvet trials because I had the twins and was able to use their elemental coverage. But once again, I also had A1, so I was able to make up for some stuff. So if you don't have a lot, my recommendation would either be, if you like the twins and you like their character in the game, lock in. Because there are still a lot of gems in this game for you to acquire, as well as all the New Year's events all the New Year's content, that's going on right now. I wouldn't stress it too much. If you are, I wouldn't stress it too much if you're unable to get them right now. I'm sure that because of the fact that now that this is a simultaneous release character, there's probably more than enough opportunities for them to be re-released eventually. They've been rerunning people quite frequently, to be honest, so it might work out in your favor. I think I somehow botched the turn order of this. I'm not entirely sure how I managed that. But yeah, this has definitely been one of my more favorite games to play recently. Between the two turn-based gachas, I like the direction that this game is heading more than Star Rail, which is why I've been sinking a lot more time into this recently. Thankfully, I have nothing that's weak to curse. I'll say I do have 1% of weak to fire. Please don't hit me. So HSR is a lot more established. There's a lot, and as a result, there's a lot more content to go through, very generally. And if you're somebody who's looking for a game that has maybe some strong story content, especially at the beginning, I'd say HSR is there. You kind of have your ups and downs along the way. Gameplay wise, I do prefer everybody having their own ultimate in HSR as opposed to compared to how they do it here. I have a bit of a lukewarm feeling towards the narrative in this game specifically, and a lot of it just kind of had to do with the initial arcs of the story and where they decided and the writing direction at that point in time. A lot of it is fixed now, so especially if you make it to the third palace, I would say that the story in this was a lot more enjoyable to go through. If you liked the original Persona 5 gameplay, you are going to feel right at home here. Don't even sweat it. You got one thing that I always want to kind of push people to remember at the end of the day also is that we are just playing a game at the end of the day. And I also think that it's very important that people remember that too. Okay, so to answer your question, So to my understanding of the situation, due to the initially poor reception of the first palace and the first half of the second palace, one of the main writers for Persona, I have to deal with Dizzy, but some of the main writers for Personas have stepped in to help assist with the direction and writing for the game. Okay, so Arson's chain should... That wasn't the most impressive damage I've ever seen. So, from, I believe, the second half of the second palace onwards, that's when the main writer kind of kicked in and started working on the story in the direction it's going in now. Oh, Horus wasn't one that got... Something told me to do the shield first. Something told me to do the shield first. Should have listened to my gut there. So yeah, you won't see a lot of evidence of the okay, I think this team can do it. I just actually need to shield first, which is lame, but I get it. The RNG of that also sucks. All right. So yeah, the thing that I'm going to be interested in is kind of how the rest of the story is going to kind of go from here, because I don't know if you are aware, but the other regions are now up to a point where they're at the end of the fourth palace. So the story updates are not necessarily few and far between, but it has been respecting the time of the writer to make sure that things are done well. And so we do have a lot of like collaborative events, primarily with the other Persona titles. And of course that was a crit, which means Wonder is probably going to die if he does not dodge his Megadolion. So yeah, this is kind of the little bit of the struggle with the Velvet Trial specifically. You can kind of only do so much to kind of mitigate the randomness that this mode can offer. Oh, okay. I can talk about my Wonder build really fast. So I've been running Wonder a lot more as like support and utility, but this is kind of what his schema tree looks like. When you get your Wonder to max level, you'll see this skill tree, and you'll be able to really mess around with a whole bunch of different stats and everything. So that's it. It does take time. I'll start there. It does take some time to get there. As for Wonder's daggers, here are all my daggers. If you also don't recall, the level of your weapon carries over to the other weapons. So even though I have these the Sonite Inferno on, if I swapped over to the Starry Compass, it takes over the levels. Note, I do not have all of the copies to also be A6, but that's fine. If you want to know, because of how Wonder gets the rest of his daggers, I would say that your larger priority are all the ones that are tied to the palace, which you get from doing 100% completion. Which will, I believe, get you the Senite Inferno, Ex Machina, and All In. So those are the ones that you'll get just by doing the story. All In is very good if you're running a primarily support centric wonder. And then Ex Machina is really good if you are running a more offensive support wonder. Senite Inferno is very good if you're running DPS or carry wonder. And so you're building a team to buff up wonder instead. And then you start getting into very specific teams when you start looking at some of these other daggers. For example, the Arc Knife is all about inflicting elemental affinities, or elemental ailments. And so nuclear team compositions really like having the Arc Knife. Glimmer increases bless damage and healing and gives blessings and such like that. So you can probably imagine that bless teams would really like Glimmer. Eye of Obsequies. I hope I said that right. Though debuffs a lot of different things, but you can, but it also increases physical damage taken, so you may want to consider this when it comes to, I believe, probably Mesa more specifically, that unit. But it all goes along with the debuffing. And last but not least, Starry Compass, which is our most recent one, where it also improves psychokinesis damage, so it's supposed to go with like Haru, for example. Of course, something to note is that refinements are valuable, especially for Wonders Daggers, and you will probably not be able to max all of them for a little while, so you do have to kind of pick and choose. And it all really depends on who you have as your carries. So I hope that helps explain things a little bit. I could also talk a little bit about the personas that I'm using in these encounters, because I know I haven't really spoke about them all that much, but also to make sure that I'm still, running attempts on this. I'll slow down eventually and explain what these characters can do and everything, so that way you can kind of see. But so the first persona that I've been using this entire time is Cert, and I've been using him for two different reasons. So the first reason is because I am also running Ex Machina, and one of the passes of Ex Machina is that the first persona that's in your lineup, you get bonus damage of that attribute. But allies that are also on your team also get a bit of bonus damage of that attribute. So you always want your first persona to match the damage type of your damage dealer. So since On is my primary damage dealer, for example, I have a fire persona out in front. It just so happens that that persona is also a massive debuffer. And a part of the strategy that I'm using here is I'm using the down points that Rico gives in order to forcefully set up an all-out attack. It's not perfect, mind you, but this has been consistently what I've been kind of working with. One shot, one kill is such a rough. Did he just use Psychic Wall on himself? Of course he did. Okay. This is still slightly salvageable. It's just going to be annoying from this point forward. So I don't think I can survive another series of attacks from them, especially if they double into somebody. So then what do we do here? Because unfortunately we can't down the guy. So I'm not even going to really bother too much in that direction. Okay, so everyone's more or less healed. So we have two of the guys downed. So technically speaking, we could finish off one of these guys right now. I think... that might be correct. But yeah, this is an example of what could happen if your plans kind of derail a little bit. We're not in any real sort of danger yet, but our turn count is unfortunately pretty strict with what we can get away with. Which is why you're kind of seeing me thinking and consider like my next moves, because I right now I'm kind of improvising. So let's see. The worst part is that I think we lose our all-out attack here despite hitting their weaknesses, which I think is a little silly. So yeah, the big issue here, unfortunately, is that before we hit it, let's use Wonder's ultimate here, I think. So this is level 39 of the Velvet Trials. And so what I am trying to do is that I'm trying to get 3 stars for it. Unfortunately, I've been a little stalled dead in my tracks. Okay, so a lot of these guys are debuffed, which is good. Yeah, because everybody has an active debuff on them, so that's good. So yeah, we're playing a bit of a protection game right now, which is inherently just going to be risky, because even though I did put on the shield to kind of keep everybody safe, there's still unfortunately that possibility that someone could drop here. Thankfully, no one did. So with Wonder, instead, what we're going to do is now we're going to use Makajama on, which hopefully, unfortunately, it only enraged like 2 people, both of which I didn't really, either one really enraged, so yikes. So there's not, so we don't have a really great ultimate to use here. So if we think that everyone's gonna live, Wonder's ultimate would be ideal. Unfortunately, I don't think everyone's gonna live. I'm gonna go on ahead and go for the heal here. We'll just go for a little bit of weakness damage. Might as well. So no brainwash. Regular auto. A heal. Another heal. No one got dizzy. Another regular attack. Okay. So this is the turn where we need to do a lot of damage very quickly. Okay. So, like I did the previous time, I am going to go just for a die for me proc. So, we don't have as much turn flexibility this go around. So I took a little bit longer with the other group. So yeah, now this is the part where we're gonna have to get a little bit creative with who we hot potato around. So realistically, the best play, I think, is just to keep downing things as we go. All right. So let's see here. Ugh. I think buffing Joker has generally been better. So this guy in the middle is only weak to gun. And I figured I might as well just use the full clip. So, kind of looking at the results of all this a bit. Yeah, debuff for twins. Nah, I'm good. Yeah, DPS twins, I'm good. I'm good. Nah. So that kind of just been how the runs have been going. So another way we can do this that I'm aware of is by using a Yoshitsune. And then we start actually making a dedicated team around Wonder. It's not out of the question, because the alternative strategy focuses a lot more heavily on making them weak to physical and using Yoshitsune's scaling. And so this would be hypothetically what the team would likely look like. So, sorry, it's bothering me that Yoshitsune was not in the front. That's all. So we want buffer and debuffer. 2, 3. So, gonna try this out. I don't need this team composition to go like swimmingly, like 10 out of 10 will do again. But Hasao Toby. Actually, I forgot one thing. Yeah, so basically all you really need to know is that Cord should probably be on that team instead. So we're gonna be using Key instead here, which Key ain't too bad. Some of my original test runs with all this were with him instead. The only downside, or only major downside, is that I don't have as quick of access to highlights anymore. So I do need to play it safer and accommodate for possible highlights. I was like, what the heck are they called? Okay. So we know the first guy is burning. So we know that Key's move's gonna switch to an AoE effect. That's fine. So yeah. Because of the nature of the different team composition, I do have to use On's ult here. Which should help with the downing effect. Okay. So Wonder is going to bring down Thoth a peg. Which means Marion can safely bring down this guy. Okay. So yeah, you guys see that when you do it all correctly, It'll come back around to On's turn, and then we can use Falling Sun. We have some technicals going on here. So we have a bit of a nice setup here. Ultimately, we still do have to be a tiny bit careful. And then this is the part where I'll just use Vengale Petals. So now everyone's burning, we can actually get Sacred Flame onto the opponents. Which now is a burn that just scales with Key's max health. That's all. So we already have the defense down from the Psychic move. So we'll actually land a Divine Judgment here. So we'll use Key's ultimate because it improves fire damage taken, which is just going to be a boon for On. But yeah, as you can kind of see here, our point total actually might even go up debatably higher than it did previously. I don't know if that guy has the downing thing on him. He did. He almost died to the burn. Goodness. So yeah. Last but not least, we have Cleansing Flame, which just does a solid amount of damage. So yeah, that's actually been our highest point total, I think, on that part thus far. So, you're now going to be playing around DPS Wonder for this. So that in on its own is going to be a little spooky. I think everyone is tanky enough, especially with the shield. So the question is, how many turns does this last? 2 turns, and that's including the one now. So in this case, I don't think I want the Twins ultimate. Not yet, at least. But I guess I could also just take Chords. Yeah, because I'm just thinking in my head, no, we'll take the max HP bump. So now we truly shouldn't have a reason why we can't survive this. So yeah, we'll be the co-star for 3 turns. And we'll use Revolution this turn as well for myself. Try to get my critical damage up in time. None of these guys have ice attacks, thankfully, so I'm not overly concerned. Okay. Now, my honest answer here is that I'm pretty sure that Wonder cannot one-shot. And that's fine. The goal isn't necessarily to have him one-shot, but definitely Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use just distortion here. And unfortunately, I think we're just gonna have to deal with the RNG nature of things. Yep. Because what'll end up happening is that if I scan... Actually... This is actually the one thing I'm not sure of. Okay. I'm doing a quick Google before we continue this because... Darn. The internet did not unfortunately did not have a good answer for me. So the unfortunate reality is that I think I just have to... Oh, I got a crit. It's not world ending, but maybe a little annoying at best. So no brainwash. Of course, Wonder's the first person to get dizzy. Of course my carry gets dizzy. Well, that throws the entire strategy under the bus. We do have 9 actions, so we're not fully out of it yet. Actually, no, we are, because dizzy for 2 turns. So that's kind of one of the larger decisions I have to make, right? Is it accepting that if I use Futaba to scan Wonder, I need to have another physical damage persona out in order to get away with that comfortably? And looking around, not a whole lot of great options. So let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see. I have an idea. We can take Kumokuten, and we'll just get him up to 60. I've had more than enough resources to be able to do this. And we can play him second. Because he has Revolution, the same as Dionysus. And because of that, I can actually afford to switch to him and then scan with Futaba on the correct turn. Also, what is his thief tactic? Party damage for 2 turns. If only you were 3 turns. I'm just assessing my options. Because there is a world where I take, where are you? Are you not considered a buffer or debuffer? No, you're considered an assassin. Okay. I don't know what I'm cooking, but hopefully it's some food. This entire run's always gonna be so spooky to me. He might actually go down. I didn't realize the insight bounced over to him. Oh. Guess not. Alright, no crit. But Marion goes down. Nope. Wonder's dead. Is there anything else that I can do to kind of make this a little bit smoother? What are you rocking? Okay, labor and resolve, that makes sense. I think all of them have speed substats. Okay, overall they're not great cards, but they're cards honor. Let's see. I was gonna be like, oh, was that all I needed? I was like, here, girl, there you go. Is she over 100 for Springtime Tempest? How much is she over? Oh, 57 or over. That's not even half bad. All right. Yeah, the only thing I could have thought of to switch was I had an idea that I want to try later. Because realistically, I also just freed up Cord by putting Key on this team. And that might be very good depending on the situation. I forgot that I was supposed to actually not do that. I was supposed to get another down on the... Why does that do 5k? Why does that also do 5k? At the rate I'm going, I might as well see if about giving these a go. Like, honestly, at the rate I'm going. So, you know what? We're gonna take a break and do tier 40. Okay, so what are you weak to? Electric and Curse. And you're strong to the opposite. You're both strong against Bless, so Motoha won't work. This one is the different situation, probably with Fire. Okay, no, I could just bring Makoto team with Futaba over here. This I may have to do a little bit more thinking. So I can bring Makoto team here. And then this over here. I was so unimpressed by the so as much as I want to bring Curse for like downing, wait, were you strong? It was electric. You're strong against electric as well. And before I go in, let me see. Okay, so weakness and all out attacks. So I do have to bear that in mind, unfortunately. So we'll do Nucleo over here. We can bring the twins, I guess. So we know we need lightning and curse. So of course we have to have the debuffer. 1. Shun is unfortunately not the greatest thing here. Maybe it is the fact that I just bring Shun to this team as precaution. I'll bring Cord because electric. And then just Joker. So then let me think. Electric and curse weakness. So Oberon. Ooh, Alice. And sure, Dominion. The nuke team is fine. Okay, let's just give Wave 40 a go. This is mostly to also just give my brain a break at this point of just bashing my head against the wall against T9. So yeah. So for example, our party is still relatively healthy. So we definitely want to kind of just keep it that way. So we could already down the other side already. Only reason I chose to down the other side was to... Okay, I was supposed to say, did it not transfer over? Alright, we can buff Joker here. But see, the thing that's going to be very helpful is that now there is only 2 things. And because there are only 2 things, we can safely... Uh-huh. Y'all remember when I said safely, right? Never mind, there's nothing safe about that. So then, why don't we go with Shielder? shielding one could definitely at least help with the not dying in one hit issue. Kind of unfortunate, kind of it happens. So then we want probably just our son's chains because they both have debuffs on them. So yeah, the reason why we did that is mostly because we needed to make sure that we had shields up and going. So I'm not sure who would be a better character to use for this. Also very possible that it's just Caroline and Justine and not Joker. We run double support. That is also very possible. So since Joker has consecutive turns, I think I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to keep putting some pressure on. The amount of pill pressure that he had with that God's hand, though, was kind of insane. So I can either reactivate my own ult, or I can reactivate Joker's, and I think I'm leaning towards Joker. Yeah, because we could actually like double up on Joker, which would allow me to double up over here. All right, another Thunder Rain. We could probably take one more turn. Yeah, I get it. No worries, I totally understand where you're coming from, Defender. I just know what they do off by heart, and no, we have not been winning actually. We are taking a smaller break and doing a different mission that I need to clear because I still can't clear the other one. So, but welcome on in. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be actually one of the few rare times where Cord actually attacks. Ooh, DK Bonanza. That sounds like fun. Oh, great. Let's see. I think I just take the buff from Cord instead of okay. I think I've been doing a good enough job. Ooh, we can finish this with an all-out attack. Sick. You guys are gonna see the new. Oh, I was so excited for you guys to see wonders. Okay, 17 actions isn't too bad. I was gonna show off Wonder's thing, and then I found out the hard way that that's not how that works. Okay. So let's see. We'll do Imperial Purge here. Margaridine's fine. Riot Gun's fine. Oh, this one feels a lot easier than the other one. Okay. I'm pretty sure Makoto can just one-shot this thing. Yep. So Makoto is normally a unit that you just kind of want to keep attacking with over and over until you don't need to anymore. Ooh, that's not great. Okay. So one of the nice things here is that we actually don't need to heal. Okay. Zol. I was gonna say, please don't be enough to kill. Oh! Whatever, game. Hold on, no. First of all, I need to also get, like, a cup of water because my throat's drying up. But whatever, game. No. I'm gonna put this little bit of, oh, you guys can't even see it because my character is right there. Hold on. Look at that. 119 out of 120. I'm so bitter. But yes, Defender task failed successfully, but I'm gonna step away for a moment. I'm gonna grab just a quick little glass of water. If you are, depending on what side you're watching, an ad's gonna get pushed, so just 1 second. Okay, I'm back, first and foremost. Secondly, what the heck? Like, what are the odds, man? And thank you for welcoming me back. I'm so... That just has me bitter now. Okay. But I guess that is slightly reinvigorating to an extent. So it doesn't so it does not necessarily mean that I have to redo anything. We are just gonna be a little bit more locked in is not the right word, but we just need to beat this now. But I'm gonna do the one experiment that I was kind of curious about. I'm gonna try AoE twins here. Actually, no, I don't think this is gonna be a good idea. Not enough damage to come through. That's gonna be like weakness target. Because it's only bless and curse, which means that I would have to have like Alice out. And then I would have to do a lot of ulting with the twins. So currently my only real out still is Joker. I forgot, is there anyone in the second wave weak? Okay, there is something weak to electric. So by pulling out Shun for the twins, a risky play, but we now have a way to spam Joker's ultimate, which I think is huge. And before I forget, I just looked over and my mouse just said that it was dying, and I'm like, oh god, and everything's falling, go, oh, it's so over. Everything was just kind of falling and flailing around, and it'd be very awkward if mid-game my mouse decided just See, so I have good news. I thankfully have a brain cell. Do I use it all the time? No. But I do have one. And then you're gonna sit here and be like, David, what does that mean you have a brain cell? It means that I can charge my mouse while I continue to game. So, what can we do differently here? So, Alice, Sandalphon, we don't have a ton of ice coverage, but we're relying more on Joker's ability to take care of things. I think I'm gonna take Dionysus back just to improve his crit damage that much further. Because realistically, like, we are aiming to launch a tactical nuke on Joker's turn. When Futaba kicks in. But if we can't drop a tactical nuke, that is fine. Because the nuke itself doesn't even have to be tactical. It just needs to drop and ruin their day. Okay. So assert Dominion. I wish the lineup of psychic personas was just better. Because I was gonna say Lian Side just has a very good ability. And then someone could also argue that I should just use Okunanushi. Jeez. I'm so sorry if you guys are just like hearing me like butcher certain persona names. I do not mean it. But yeah. Oh, but you're weak to nuclear. Ew. I don't know why you have access to Rebellion, but gonna drop Tempest Slash just for Rebellion. Wait, actually, y'all hear? Oh, you just have you, yourself, and I. Actually, so then there's a world where I also teach him Rebellion, right? I'll figure out that degree of min-maxing another time. So I won't have the defense down anymore, but that's fine. I think not having the defense down is not a big deal. Okay, so the way that this lineup works now is going to be a little bit more, I think slightly more interesting. We still want to open up fairly similarly to how we've been doing, because we could use Spirit Wave here, but the problem is that the one persona is not, it's not ideal. Just outright not ideal. So yeah. Like I mentioned before, we do have to be a little bit more selective with our downs now that we're using a key instead. And that's part of the reason why I opted. That's part of the reason why I opted to just prepare. These rounds still are like a little stressful. Okay, does anyone have insight right now? Because I was just curious. Okay, after kind of briefly assessing my options here, I just need to stick to the original agenda, which is deliberately inflict insight on Anubis, I believe. So we'll kind of have 2 different shots with Marion to get her stuff going. So I think, yeah, good damage. So yeah, we're gonna use Spirit Wave here. Spirit Wave is a nice little AoE one. So as much as I would love to okay. Falling Sun's gonna be good here. Still can't believe I beat 40 in one go. Okay, guys, like, I'm still thinking about that. Don't double into somebody. Okay, good. So from here, from this point, we should be able to finish the fight pretty comfortably. All right, lots of fire damage. That one was a bit of a tough call. Ooh. I think I want to go for the potential future down. It's a little greedy. Of course. Why? Of course, he had to have a crit before he died. Why not? Why not? Can't test nothing in this household. Because that wasn't even a perfect run on my end either, so can't be too bitter. There is a world where a sustainless of this worked out, where I brought like something with a bit more zest, a little bit more flavor. But I would probably have to... I'm lucky that key's first. And... No. No. So... I can deal with somebody getting subject to the crit and being downed as a result of it. What I cannot deal with is having someone being downed from the crit and the psychic wall also going off. Yeah, I just think the thing that sucks about this whole thing is that you guys have seen, like, very early on the stream, I can clear this. As evidenced by, like, all the other content in the game that I've cleared as well. It's just very frustrating when things are not ideal. So there is technically a world where I do Key's ultimate instead, but the problem is that he's going first. And if he was not going first, then his ultimate has the potential to make a lot more sense here. Honestly, I don't even know what Chosen One does for him. Because look, it's a 30% fire increase and gives burn to everybody, but I already have now inflicted burn to everyone. %, so Kurotani's ultimate is still very good. I just think that we're at the point now that we've done a lot of debuffing. And with a lot of debuffing just comes a lot of let's see. God, I would love to cast Rebellion right now, but okay, we can, I think, safely get everybody. So I was gonna say, normally right now Anubis is like low. I just realized what I've done derogatory. I totally forgot about needing to heal. If only like there was a system in place where it said like keep your first wave score, but you can't change the units. Oh, that would be chef's kiss. So I have no idea how On's passive triggers, by the way. I just know that just comes up every so often. So we want to keep focusing on downing Anubis. Could you also imagine if I got these demons' names wrong, like, this whole time? I don't know how shameful that'd be. 100% it would be very embarrassing at this point. So this should be getting down to here, which is fine. And we'll double into horse with on. Okay. We're gonna heal this time. See, that is how this is supposed to go. Okay, but y'all can leave on alone now. Okay. So from where we are right now, Crimson Summon is correct to me. It's crazy how like little damage my other units do, and then on just comes through like a wrecking ball. So yes, I still want to specifically buff fire damage here. Okay. Because I'm not necessarily going for any downs. I don't know if that's correct or incorrect, but... Ew. Guess we'll just take these guys out, I guess. I wasn't expecting to take 3 ways of turns on this is the thing. The good news is that we'll just get another all-out attack out of this, which is fine. Okay. So now we're actually going to have a lot more potentially direct buffs to Joker here. And I think I'm actually going to start off with Revolution his way. Okay, so Shielder Twins, pretty good here. Actually, wait, that works. So we want to do that. So yeah, we just want to double into this bird. And we're going to have to kind of adjust our rotation a little bit. With Cord, especially. Because we're opting to... Ouch. What's it? Come on, Cord, live. Nice. Okay. So from this angle specifically, I think that's fine. All Joker is damage, so we can't really do too much about that. Okay. So the thing that I'm gonna be kind of worried about is that we can't really use Catchy Hook here, which is fine. Who is the one that cast Nocturnal Flash? See, the problem is that now I can't do that this turn. Well, like, I can. But that is such a risky play because I don't have Cord or the twins for a variety of reasons. Yeah, the thing that stresses me out about this party we have so many defense downs. Let's see. There is a world where I just bring like a better light persona other than Dominion. Because I don't know, this might do better. Might not, to be honest with you. Okay, let's see. Funny enough, I think I prefer the putting the defense down. I thought having a more psychic heavy damage dealer would be more beneficial. But I'm pretty sure that Leanne does the same thing. Okay. I think the thing that also needs to happen is that I need to get more. Oh, how do you get rare personas? So there's kind of a variety of different ways. So when you do the Sea of Stars every week, you get tier 4 medals, which will allow you to get personas like Sandalphon, Yoshitsune, Shiva, Vishnu, like all those. Those are tied to those. Your confidant with Merope, the Velvet Room Attendant, also has some. And as you level up Wonder more and more and get access to more of the daily activities that burn your stamina, you also get a batch from that as well. So yeah, there's a variety of different sources. Okay. I'll take that. No one is downed. Everyone is alive. 100% will take that. Okay. So next is Ring of Fire again. Could you imagine if I messed up and hit the wrong ultimate? That... I think I would be a very sad individual. I think I just downed the dragon here. Oh yeah, misclicks happen all the time. Mostly on my own time. Because sometimes I'll play the controller and I forget how playing with a controller works. It's a little embarrassing, I know, but I be making some wild mistakes sometimes. I think hitting him for Psychic's gonna net me more points. If On wasn't so low, I'd risk it, but... Unfortunately, On was in fact very low. I think the only way that I could turn this into less cycles is if I had an A6 on, but I currently do not. Just so you know, so basically putting that move on is basically me saying that I'm confident that I could end the match this turn if I just had a little bit more damage instead of focusing on downing the enemies. Because I can focus on that. But like I said, it is very risky to do something like that just because it ends up, it could very well backfire very quickly. Because just like, for example, if Anubis just targets the wrong... Yeah, I've had runs where Anubis will just suddenly have the one brain cell that he's needed to survive. Just suddenly, like, neurons firing everywhere. So, buff only lasts 2 turns, but luckily the twins came after Joker. So even though both of these buffs are only going to last 2 turns, they're going to be on the turns that matter a lot more for Joker. Okay, I need a dodge from Wonder, please. No, I think Wonder dies. So there's a world where I actually use the twins as healing ult. And the twins' healing ults increases max HP. But the problem is that it's so inconsistent on whether... Actually, hold on for 1 second. Yes, the twins are some of the most like versatile units in the game. Just period. I love and hate how formulaic I've gotten with this. Because yeah, the thing that I look for the most is if there's a lot of misses here, then I can 100% afford to not even heal with Marion and try to get some more points like min-maxing. Wonder's gonna die. Oh no, homie is limping. Ooh. You love to see it. You love to see it. All right. The best part is that he has like no debuff on him currently. So he can actually like I was gonna say like he's gonna get like, let's see, we'll do Marion here. I could have just done Kuratani there, I think. Yeah, if I had actually gotten like any sort of like dodging, it would have done me so much justice. Still not dodging like at all, by the way. All right, so we can go about this one of two directions. Oh. I don't want to risk it's annoying, but I think I don't want to risk it. All right. I was like, okay, so there was a part of me that knew that there was like a Persona song playing, but I was like, It's like, what Persona song is that? Okay, there we go. So Verngale is probably the better call there. Not to say that my choice was like inherently bad. It's mostly because it makes the window with Joker that much more tight, you know? Because even though I get 3 mil here, that means Joker's section has to be played practically perfectly. Which unfortunately I have not been doing currently. It almost makes you want to guard one of the turns, to be honest. So, Joker's gonna be able to use his ultimate a lot because of Core, right? Unfortunately, in my opinion, this is kind of a waste of ult, but I need to care a little bit more about survivability. I feel like I did not watch their like max HP move up a single dime. But who knows? Maybe I'm just crazy. So yeah, all we really needed is that one dodge. Mostly because now that we have gotten that one dodge just like done, more than likely what will happen. So Horus is still, so we still have one thing to avoid. Unfortunately. Okay. So, let's see. So we're not using Catchy Hook, which will allow me to use a highlight because we are waiting for Joker's next turn, basically. Not even gonna see the rest of that. So we... See... It's fine, David. It's fine. It's cool. The ailment accuracy is killing me there. The problem is that also that I can only really... Like, I can put Masuku Kaja on somebody, right? But then that's one less buff that's adding to, like, damage. And I don't want to put myself in that position. So... if you guys are wondering part of the reason why I don't try to accommodate for that, that Masuku Kaja can do... I will not deny that it can do something. The problem ends up being more that I'm at the point where I would have to take something else out. And like I mentioned before, because of the fact that Joker's stage has to go pretty close to perfect. It does not have to be absolutely perfect. It just has to be pretty darn close, and that's the problem. You can only get so many perfect RNG runs. That aren't, like, scuffed. So, luckily for us, we aren't activating the all-out attack on this turn. But yeah. We're... And that's my only major gripe with this stage. Is that I don't really care for the fact that we are effectively praying for points. Well, praying for points and praying that the enemy doesn't use the move that'll kill me. Because to me, that's not fun. It's not. And while randomness has existed in video games for the longest time, right? It just really stinks when you have like a run of your game going like super good, and then all of a sudden the run just falls incredibly short because of some bad luck. All right, keep the damage spreading. All right, let's keep the damage spread. I forgot that you had Flash Bomb. That was almost so bad. But I did want to try to keep homie around for a little bit, so. We did learn that Verngale Petals is likely the way to go. So let's see. I'm not gonna heal. 100% going for the very, very aggressive play, which hopefully doesn't kill me. It can. Aim for Minami. I deserve that for greeting it. I'll be real. Deserve that for greeting it. I just wish there was a way to make these runs more consistent than what I'm doing right now. I forget, are you maxed? Oh yeah, oh yeah, she is. Do I have any skills for you that like... I'm just thinking to myself, do I have any skills for you that like... There's really nothing here that's really like super captivating or anything like that. I just look at them like, oh, I can reduce the cost of my spells. Okay. Not gonna worry about importing anything on her. She unfortunately is already like max level, so. The worst part is also if I swap daggers, it's just gonna be a long run. Okay. Not gonna deviate too far outside the box anymore. We're just gonna opt to try to get this going. Okay. So if there was something that I want you guys to take away from this, is that sometimes the good run is the run where you have to take the extra heal. And as much as you don't want to take the extra heal, take the extra heal. All right, Minami, that's what I like to see. Wonder, that is what I like to see. He is sticking through for me. Wonder was sticking through for me. My man. Okay. Ephra, am I dropping everybody this round? I think so. Oh yeah, because I'm healing the party. Ooh, and he stuck around just for me. Well, he did stick around just for me. It's very weird how this all ends up working out mathematically, because you'd think that having the fourth guy survive for a little bit longer. Oh, well, actually, it is another 200k points on average, it looks like, if we have the fourth guy lit. But I hope you guys can see that with the amount of autopiloting that I finally just like gotten down to, because I've just attempted this so many times, that I have been shenaned again. All right, all the debuffs should still be on them. Yeah, so there's very limited circumstances where I would really suggest gambling for the okay. Yeah, there are very seldom opportunities where I would be like really suggest trying to gamble for you know what? Fine. Everyone's still alive. Unfortunately, Wonder doesn't do like insane amounts of damage. I probably should have just taken the Rico buff. It was just unfortunate that homie lived for as long as he did. So yes, we only have 2 cycles to get this right. So part of me, if it wasn't for the fact that I need to get out as much damage as I can, part of me almost feels like guarding with like guarding with Joker would be the most appropriate play to do. Okay. One on Joker, that's fine. If I can get like 1 dodge. Nope, Joker's dead. No such thing as luck sometimes. If I wasn't so pressed for turns, I considered actually guarding the Joker on that turn. The problem is that the medic version of Justine and Caroline are... It's not that they're better or worse. It's just that given the context of like what we're doing, while they do have like an AoE aura that does more damage, I'm hoping that with Chord's highlight spamming, that'll make up for the fact that we don't have that 20% damage up. Which, saying it like out loud like that really makes a difference. And also you think that by now, like, I was supposed to... Nope, that was the bad RNG. Bad RNG and bad decision making. You know what? We're going to try out my one idea. So I have Fizz Boost, Attack Master 4. And then we have Revolution on this guy as well, so we don't even need to use Dionysus. But we have 3 different types of Persona, so that's going to be pretty strong. We now have Shun back in the party, which means that it should be hypothetically a little bit easier. I wonder, pun intended, by the way, there is a world where I use Wonder's ult into On's ult. You know what? Let's... No. So y'all hear me out. What if we brought Luful to this? I don't know how much HP he has. But like, what if I was hypothetically cooking? Like, could you imagine? I think I used up one of his lava flames earlier. I've learned sometimes... Alright, who has a 5-star weapon? I know he has a 5-star weapon, which is why I'm using the Justice Lances. Crazy that I'd never really noticed like how many dupes of things that I've gotten and not one of Motohas. That's crazy. So you know what? My team wasn't like, my account in general isn't as strong as I thought it was, because I have not been paying attention to like what weapons I do actually own. I need to farm the weapon mission thing a lot more than what I have been doing. Honestly, could you imagine if like, I'm curious about something. Because I also don't need that anymore. I'm still slowly trying to get everybody's 5-star weapon. Oh, his 5-star weapon goes kind of crazy. Well, what's hers? Max stack of intel to 11 is wild. Plus also the 15 speed. The thing is that I don't really need their weapon anymore. Because I already have it. Oh, wait. I didn't realize that that's how that worked. But I'll wait till the next limited banner for, like, someone's weapons. But, realistically, probably about time for me to wrap up, actually. I think what I'm gonna do, as far as the game plan goes, as much as I would prefer not to, I need to, for example, get this guy's, thing to overclock 7. And fix... Are you kidding me? I don't want to talk about it. But as I was saying, fix people's gear around and just kind of clean up. Like, because I have so many of these like gold cards now. There's the other systems in place to kind of help with making sure everybody's stats are at the very least close to being correct. So there's still a lot to do. And also even Joker doesn't have one of his cards actually fully enhanced, which could have been the difference. I'm not going to confirm nor deny. The subsets on this actually do look pretty decent. I don't want to talk about it. I just learned a lot about this game just now. I don't want to hear a word from anybody. Okay. Let's just wrap this up. I learned a lot today. So I will just see you guys tomorrow, where hopefully we can move on to just doing the twins' event and boss fight. So I was wondering if we could use those for materials, and I'm glad that to let you guys know you can. So hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. I will be back tomorrow, where hopefully I can finally either beat 39 or already have beaten it off camera, and then we can move on to bigger and better things in life. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time.